difficulties.
There are a lot of moving parts here on the Monday Morning Buzz. Good morning. I'm your host,
Good morning.
Olive. It's a beautiful Monday morning today. I'm joined by my co-hosts, Lara Ziccadi and Victor Muñiz Rosa.
Woo! We're here. We're alive here on the Monday morning bus. So
Period.
let's start. Let's start. I'm ready.
Let's get into it. How was your weekend?
It was pretty good. I was kind of
Yeah?
vibey. Yeah.
Good. And how about you, V?
Mine was good. I watched Top Gun recently and I loved it. It was so
Okay.
good. It was so good. The new one. Wow.
Oh, the new one. Okay. I didn't even know there was a new Top Gun. That shows you how much I've been out in the world.
They got to milk the franchise somehow. You know?
Yeah. No, we've been seeing this trend. It's an ever increasing trend.
Yeah. Well,
And it's never gonna stop. Once they did 103 Dalmatians, I said, okay, well,
it's time to stop.
They're just gonna keep doing this, huh?
It's time to stop.
They're only taking a break. I would like to share with y'all that yesterday I had my first real interview on the Olive Only show. So I'm feeling good coming off this weekend. It's a really good Monday for me. And I hope you all out there are experiencing a smooth start to the first day of our week this week. We got a great show for you. Thank you so much, Lara. This show it's giving, baby.
I love this cast.
So
this Monday Buzz.
It's kind of like a thing, the Three Musketeers. So
yeah,
we're gonna get into this newscast. Go on ahead.
I got you for your news. So in national news today, former Trump campaign director Bill Stephen and U.S. Attorney will testify as the January 6th committee hearing continues. Stephen will be joined on a panel of Chris Starwell, a former Fox News politician and editor, BJ Pak, a once U.S. attorney in Georgia, conservative election attorney Ben Ginsburg, and Al Schmidt, a Republican official in Philadelphia. And the continuing pattern that we see here for these hearings is that most of them say that the 2020 election was rigged and Trump this and Trump that. And seems to be a recurring pattern. So they will testify today. So here in the Morning Buzz, we will make sure to keep you updated on this hearing that is happening. We're going to be moving on to some Passaic County news. The Passaic County prosecutor is investigating shots fired by police that injured one person. It happened around Garrison Street after 3 a.m. on Saturday. Police were arresting a person for unlawful possession of a firearm when they heard the shots fired. The person was taken to the hospital for treatment. So now in Montclair news, back in May, 2 people who died in a single vehicle crash during a chase by Montclair police officers were from Philadelphia, and the chase was related to a robbery investigation. I know. The director of the crash car survived and was released after treatment in a nearby hospital, authorities have said, but authorities have not yet described any charges against him. Montclair police officers Michael Kupak and Brandon Taylor attempted a motor vehicle stop of the vehicle driven by a Philadelphia resident, Todd Hill, in connection with that robbery. Finally, in NJ News, Juneteenth is around the corner, and just wanted to let you know how Montclair is celebrating. Montclair is having Jubilee, a celebration of African American music. Program of African American music hosted by Reverend Jesse Branson of Union Baptist Church, with our very own Montclair State African Dance and Drum Ensemble, opera bass and baritone Roosevelt Credit, contralto Elsa Larson, Montclair Early Music Recorder and Guitar Ensemble, and others will take place at 3 p.m. on June 26th at Montclair Art Museum. Currently, here at the very beautiful Montclair State, it is 70 degrees. Expect a high of 88 today and a low of 66. Not too bad with the summer weather. Today will be mostly sunny, but there will be some skies starting around 3 o'clock ish. And that has been your news update.
You know what? Thank you so much for that news update. And also, you reporting the weather really makes me realize that this summer we've got some weird weather going on, meaning that usually one day has 2 moods, because we have 66 and 88, and right now we're we're on the rise now, but we're getting all different types of summer every single day.
Honestly,
we've had rainy summer, we've had so far it's been what's going on.
They say hot girl summer, but I'm expecting snowy girl summer at this point.
And I also do want to add to Juneteenth celebrations, I'm going to be DJing at Montclair Brewery for Juneteenth. 12 to 3, 7 to 9. I'm only taking a break to come do the show. Live Only show on that Sunday. So I'm very excited. I will be in full DJ no requests mode because that's my DJ name, and it's my name, but it's a message also.
That's so iconic.
DJ no requests. I love the name.
DJ no requests. Please read the sign once if you walk up to my booth, just read the sign. I don't even have a sign, but I'm gonna have to have one.
Like the request could ruin the vibe, and you already have like a playlist set, and like I do like loose associations with music. It's like word association, but with sounds. That's how I play music. So there's not really anything that a request can do for me but derail me. But in any case, we're gonna get on to this sports cast. Sports.
Did you just say sports?
Yeah.
Sports.
And MLB last night, the Yankees played the Chicago Cubs and they won 18-4.
Hello.
This leaves the Yankees standing with 44 wins and 66 losses. And this one is for you, Victor. Last night again, the Mets played the LA Angels and won 4-1.
Wow.
This leaves the Mets standing with 40 wins and 22 losses. It is a great season to be in New York, everybody. It really is. Now we're moving on to NBA Finals. The Warriors and the Celtics played Game 4 on Friday, and the Warriors won 107-97.
Okay.
Game 5 of the Finals will be played tonight at 9 p.m. If you're not a basketball watcher like myself, you could tune into the Morning Buzz tomorrow and hear another sportscast. And in NHL, the Rangers and Tampa Bay Lightning played each other Saturday night, and the Rangers unfortunately lost 1-2. But this means Tampa is moving on to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Okay.
To play the Colorado Avalanche Wednesday night at 8 p.m. I gotta say, Colorado Avalanche is such a cool name, especially it's Colorado too, so it's cool.
It's both on theme and witty, and I love Colorado. Like, I'm like trying to look for the words to like make this joke that I left hanging just now, and it's all because I was kind of bombarded by memories of Colorado. It is so beautiful and weird.
Yeah.
And I love it.
One of my friends actually goes to school in Colorado, and she loves it.
Oh yeah.
She came back to Jersey for a little bit to visit family because it's summer as well. She's like, I forgot what it's like around here. Because
it's really because you have the mountains in the background, but it's like a desert too. It's really like, so you come back and it's all green and you're on a mountain, a different kind of mountain than you've been at for the past semester. And I'm sure it's like, what?
It's like what happened? I feel like everybody, like most people who are living on the West Coast and other than the East, are just living in a completely different reality, like low-key.
They are.
It's
high
so
key.
Crazy.
I've never been in Colorado, but Colorado in Spanish means colored, so that's all I can
So there's that.
There's that.
I love the Spanish lesson. Here on the Morning Buzz, we speak many languages, okay? And we will teach you how to speak some of them.
Kind of.
Yeah, we'll try.
Colorado, okay, period. I miss Sin Límites, aquí por la tierra. In any case, I've got our first story here. And, okay, you're in traffic, you're having your coffee, you're already sitting, so that's perfect. Senate negotiators announced framework deal on bipartisan gun package. On Sunday, key senators announced a framework agreement on new gun legislation. This marks a breakthrough in a collection of measures to combat gun violence, including red flag laws and enhanced background checks on gun buyers. The chief negotiators of the deal are Senator Chris Murphy, a Democrat of Connecticut, an outspoken proponent of gun safety laws, and Senator John Cornyn, Republican of Texas and firm Second Amendment advocate, who has promised the new measures won't affect the gun rights of law-abiding Americans. The final bill hasn't been written yet. Sources familiar with the negotiations said, but unlike the series of gun bills authored by Democrats that passed the House last week, the Senate deal has a better chance of becoming law because it has support from key Republicans who wield effective veto power over gun legislation in the Senate. And this is due to the 60-vote filibuster rule. The joint statement backing the deal was signed by 10 Democrats and 10 Republicans.
A centerpiece of the Senate deal is to provide substantial resources for states to implement red flag laws, which allow individuals like police or family members to petition courts to keep firearms away from people deemed a risk to themselves or others. Currently, 19 states and the District of Columbia have red flag laws on the books. The new provisions are aimed at increasing that number and improving their implementation. The agreement also establishes a more rigorous process for background checks on people between 18 and 21 years old, with an enhanced review that includes contacting state and local law enforcement for criminal records that could be disqualifying, and to appropriate state organizations for mental health information that could affect the decision. The proposal also seeks to clarify ambiguities over who must register as a federally licensed firearm dealer for the purposes of conducting background checks. Feedback, anyone? Because you know me, I'm about to go off. This is a start.
It's a start.
It's a start.
And
let me start there.
It is a start. It is in fact a start, which is a very good thing. And we're shedding the light on the subject that this needs to change. But let's be a little bit more realistic. It's not enough. But what else are they going to do? You know,
This falls, in rhetorical criticism, we talk about what's in the realm of the possible versus the impossible. And I feel like this is, what's possible with things as they stand. I'm happy with the start. I kind of need it to be like 18 to 23 or, but I get it. This is a start. I mean, I think even the age should be older, but you know what I mean? It's not about what I think. It's about, again, what's possible in today's landscape. And, I do love that they have this Senator John Cornyn, the Republican of Texas, because for those people that are just holding their guns to their hearts right now, I think it does help just to have somebody that reflects those values that they're trying to protect so much. Because if it's really about that, okay, then I see them kind of operating like where they can, and in the ways that they can. So
I feel like a lot of Republicans are scared to do things because that is their audience. That is the people that get them into office. And they're scared to do anything because they're scared they're going to lose that whole wing's vote, Not
only that, but tradition.
Oh, yeah.
Tradition, okay? Yeah. American values.
Yeah, and it's very interesting. Yeah, I think, they're taking baby steps, but at this point, they should take big boy steps. Like, we should go really change the whole dynamic of getting a gun, because at least, in different places, like in New York, they're already, increased the age limit to buy if I'm not mistaken, a semi-automatic weapon, and stuff like that is happening around the states. But we should take big boy steps and try to really create background checks in every state. At least in Puerto Rico, we're a U.S. territory, and we have like background checks, and it's very rigorous, the process to get a gun. It should be like that in every place, because a gun is a very big responsibility.
It absolutely is. Yeah. And I said this before, and I'm going to say it again. No citizen of this country should have a military grade weapon.
Okay, thank you.
No one should, because
she said it so much nicer than I was going to say it. You know what I mean? Because it's like, why do we have anything? Exactly. Why do we have anything like that available?
I know. And then I like to think a gun is a gun. It is a weapon with a bullet. But nobody needs that extreme of a weapon.
Here's my thing. I like red tape because usually people that are motivated, especially emotionally, because that's where a lot of these school shootings are coming from. They got something going on. Then they go and they handle it like this. I think red tape slows that down, because by the time you have to wait 6 months, and then I think there should be an intermediary period regardless of the arbitration period, because that could take weeks, but I think there should be, I just don't even know what we need anymore. But in any case, it does slow people down. People that might have, a grudge. I don't want to oversimplify things, but I'm just trying to, say things in a way that's not going to ruffle anyone's feathers. It kind of gives you time to think about why you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? And
I've also said this before. I don't think you should have a gun unless you live in a rural place or upstate where a bear can come and eat your family if you don't act fast enough. I think there is absolutely, or you work on a farm. Sometimes there's aggressive animals. I like to go visit some bison up in Sussex County. And I can imagine if one of them got crazy that maybe even a stun gun might not do the job. Okay. Like they weigh like 5,000 pounds, whatever. But I'm just saying, yeah, I mean, that's it.
I have another point as well.
Please.
It is so difficult for women to get an abortion in this country, and they go through so much time, and the doctors are like, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure you don't want to have this child? And it is so difficult for women to get an abortion for a child that they don't want than it is to get a gun or a semi-automatic weapon. But at least they're doing something about it now, It's still not going to be that much of a difference, in my opinion, because 18 to 21, anything could happen in between those age differences. Yeah. Anything could happen with time, but it's doing a little bit, but just not a lot. And it just doesn't seem fair to a lot of people in this country.
This is not how you, this feels like you're dragging your feet on protecting the children, the many children that we're losing every day. Because what did we talk about the other week? We're hearing about these, I guess, bigger shootings, meaning, more casualties. All right. And I don't even know how to talk about this because I feel like any way we talk about it is casual, because how are we even, you know what I mean? We shouldn't even be having this conversation, but there are scares and smaller shootings happening every day that never make it to the news because one, they're trying to suppress it, because the more this happens, the more there's a case for gun control. And like Victor said, we need bigger boy steps because the little boys and girls, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the little boys and girls are getting hurt.
Hello.
Little girls and boys and people, of course, are getting hurt.
And hurt is just one side because their lives being lost. Are y'all not getting it? Okay, well, anyway.
Come on, get those big boy boots. Let's go.
Hello, put them on, lace them up. Put them on, lace them up. Victor, hit us with our next story because you know what? We need to lighten the mood, but we also need to talk about other issues that are being handled in society's scape right now.
Of course, we're going to talk about the first ever Montclair Pride Festival. Carmen Carrera looked over a sea of faces, gay and straight, young and old, trans, non-binary, and cis. People of innumerable and varied identities, some still discovering how their own are evolving. Carrera, a model, actress, trans activist, and former RuPaul's Drag Race contestant. Carrera said from the main stage of the first ever Montclair Pride Festival, end quote, it was just beautiful to see so many people here, so many allies, and just being able to share this space with you means a lot. I think my inner child is so proud and beaming right now. That sentiment was shared by many attendees and participants in the festival, which closed off parts of the Bloomfield Avenue, Church Street, and Park Street Saturday afternoon. There were more than 150 vendors and sponsors, two performance stages, and thousands of Montclair residents and visitors. And as appropriate to the theme of the event, many expressed pride, not only in their own LGBTQ identities or aliasships, but in a community that embraced the same. The event was organized by Out Montclair, a nonprofit organization formed last year by Peter Jacobellis, and the first out gay member of the Montclair Township Council to celebrate and provide a space for the Montclair area's LGBTQ community. For Pride Month, Out Montclair and other participating community groups organized 2 weeks of events, including Pride Night at the Montclair Art Museum, reading scripture with pride at the Unitarian Universalist Congregation at Montclair, and drag queens and donut at Rabbi Rice Donuts. Discussion of policy and LGBTQ rights were addressed in Jacobelli's own speech, which highlighted the festival's themes of Be You, Be Heard. He urged the crowd to celebrate its LGBTQ members, but reminded attendees that there are still many obstacles that LGBTQ individuals, particularly trans youth, face. Jacobellis wrote in his prepared remarks and shared with Montclair Local, quote, "We're living in a time of terrible verbiage and violence against anyone different. All of us have to band together to defeat that darkness. You do that by being you." I think that last phrase says it all, be you. That's the most important part
I was
because love
reading
is love.
I was reading the story yesterday, and it just makes me so happy that
Mm-hmm.
we get to go to a school here at Montclair and have it be a place of progression and for people to feel safe and for people to feel that they can be themselves. And this makes me really happy for those people that they can.
It definitely does. And Victor's like, I love that you emphasize the being you part because you know th- it's really not deeper than that. Like people want to make it about rights and this and that, which is important because clearly people do acknowledge there's a difference, I guess. But the point is, people are entitled in this life to be themselves, whoever they are, as long as they're not hurting anybody. I think, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I again, more things that I can't believe we're talking about in 2022. You would think coming out of a pandemic, we would put all these things aside. And how quickly have we remembered the removing of the mask? We've put on the other one again.
You're right.
Yes.
I feel like we've been distracted because of the pandemic, which was a very big thing, don't get me wrong. But I think the pandemic really shifted our focus onto the pandemic and not the other issues that we're now talking about.
Yeah, because of, excuse me, I'm not gonna forget y'all hanging off your porches and out the windows talking about we are the world, we are the children. Like, what happened to that?
We're not gonna forget the imagine. We're not gonna forget the imagine. Let's
We're
go.
not gonna forget that. So yeah, make sure you're keeping that energy, okay? Because it's 2022. I can't even believe 2020 is 2 years behind us already. That is disgusting.
Girl.
What is even going on? Well, anyway, we're gonna deep dive right back into the our stories right now. In news abroad, Russia destroys bridge over Ukrainian river, cutting escape route. On Sunday, Russian forces have blown up a bridge linking to the embattled Ukrainian city of Severodonetsk. Please forgive me, okay? To another city across the river, cutting off a possible evacuation route for civilians. Severodonetsk has become the epicenter of the battle for control over Ukraine's eastern Donbas region. Parts of the city have been pulverized in some of the bloodiest fightings since the Kremlin unleashed its invasion on February 24th. My gosh, that feels like years ago. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said in his nightly video address, quote, "The key tactical goal of the occupiers has not changed. They are pressing in Severodonetsk. Severe fighting is ongoing there, and literally for every meter." Zelensky said the image of a 12-year-old injured in a Russian strike was now the enduring worldwide face of Russia. He said, "These very facts will underscore the way in which Russia is seen by the world." Ukrainian and Russian forces were still fighting street by street in Severodonetsk on Sunday. Russian forces have taken most of the city, but Ukrainian troops remain in control of an industrial area and the Azov chemical plant where hundreds of civilians are sheltering. The governor of Luhansk province, Serhiy Gadey, said, quote, "About 500 civilians remain on the territory of the Azov plant in Severodonetsk. 40 of them are children. Sometimes the military manages to evacuate someone. But the Russians had destroyed a bridge over the Seversky Donets River, linking Severodonetsk with its twin city of Lysychansk. That left just one of three buildings still standing. Gadai said, "If after new shelling the bridge collapses, the city will truly be cut off. There will be no way of leaving Severodonetsk in a vehicle." On that note, you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to need to take a little break. We'll be right back.
Let's face it, life looks a little different
and you already know what it is. We need a little palate cleanser. You know what I mean? Because
It's been a rough day. It's been a rough kind of start for news, except for our second story, of course. Which is very progressive.
Yeah, which, but it's gonna get better. It's gonna get
I
better, y'all. It's
promise.
Monday. It's Monday. At the end of the day, well, not at the end of this day, but I guess at the end of yesterday, I made a promise to myself that this week I was gonna do something every day to make sure that I'm good. Because, before the break, we were talking about, lockdown and everything, all those feel good feelings and like self-care and baking sourdough. I'm going to have a sourdough week this week. I'm going to tend to my breads and I'm going to make it happen, So I
love
hope everyone's
sourdough.
feeling good out there. And,
Yeah, and
despite the news.
And please, if you're gonna do the sourdough thing, just when I get back, I want to taste it.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
love sourdough, so
Period.
I have to
Sourdough
taste it.
is my favorite bread.
And I will have the bruschetta ready.
Oh
Okay.
my god, all the breads,
Sometimes I
please.
like making a little pesto, and I just, anytime you have any green herb, just throw it in a food processor.
You were giving me Dixie D'Amelio for a hot second. Hi guys, it's Dixie D'Amelio.
I wish I knew who that was, but I think I got the
no.
voice down.
Yeah,
That's
you
good,
did.
right?
Yeah.
Hi, it's Olive D'Amelio. I know who the other one is, the
Yeah.
TikTok star, right?
Yeah, they're both
Yes.
kind of TikTok stars.
I forget what the other sister's name was.
Dixie,
No, but the other one.
Charlie.
Yes, Charlie, the
Charlie.
main sis or whatever, because Dixie's the younger one, no?
Dixie is the older one.
The older one.
Really?
But
Yes,
Charlie is
ma'am.
the more famous one. Yeah.
Okay, see?
Mhm.
Okay, well, clearly I'm the older sibling. I clearly have a complex.
It's okay.
I'm like, the famous one's the older one, right? Right? Like, no.
No, Olive, you're like cool. You're the cool older sister of the Morning Buzz.
I actually have 3 younger sisters.
I know.
Like, and
That's the best part.
I'm going to extend that identity. I'm going to try not to live it too much. I'm going to be the cool older sister, guy.
We're gonna emphasize
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You are.
Thanks, guys.
gonna
Oh my gosh. Wait, so for real? Okay, so I guess the next story Victor.
So the CDC travel requirements for international travel lifted. Is the news many were waiting for, being able to travel internationally without the worry of getting a COVID-19 test to come back to the United States. With the vaccine and treatments available to fight COVID-19, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention have decided to lift the requirement. The rule, put in place at the height of the pandemic, required travelers to get tested within the 72 hours before flying back to the US, but as of Sunday, it is no longer required. Some signs recommending social distance and wearing a mask can still be seen throughout the LaGuardia airport. For those who forget, New York's mandate requiring out-of-state visitors to quarantine for 2 weeks and get a negative test result before fully immersing with New Yorkers expired in April 2021. International travelers at LaGuardia Airport were thrilled to have one less thing to worry about. However, some travelers say they will take precautions. The CDC says it will monitor trends and make decisions based on those trends. Some countries still require vaccine states and testing. If you are traveling internationally, be sure to look up the entry requirements for the country you are visiting. This is very, very good, but at the same time, you should always, have the precautions, of going out of your home and, always have those, always have a little mask just in case and stuff like that, because you never know.
I'll be honest. I didn't know this was lifted pretty much yesterday. I thought it's been lifted like low key.
Well, they lifted the masks. I feel like they did it out of order.
They did.
I feel like you
yeah.
should, the test. Okay, because we were quarantining for 2 weeks, right? Whenever we went anywhere.
Mhm.
Cool. Like, if you want to get rid of that, I'm fine with that. And then the testing, I feel like should have been eliminated first, but I feel like we should still be wearing masks. Am I crazy?
No, I don't think you're crazy. Especially
Thank
No,
you
I
for
don't think you're
swapping
crazy.
out the worry of get other people taking personal responsibility and then reinserting the worry of COVID because you're in a enclosed space. I mean, am I bugging?
especially for an airport. There's people traveling from all over.
All over.
Yeah,
I feel like if you're on a plane, you should be masked up. Like,
yeah.
I know if I'm going to be traveling on a plane, which I'm not as of right now, which will probably won't change, to be honest.
Don't say
But-
that. Don't speak that over
Don't
yourself.
say that. Don't say
Yeah,
that.
don't
You
say
got-
that.
you
We
got-
gotta go visit Victor.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
you guys gotta come to
Never
Puerto
mind,
Rico.
Victor.
Exactly.
I'm coming on the next flight.
Is
But,
there a
um,
train over there that we can take?
Man.
or a boat.
Well, if
Right.
you find
Oh, that'd
it,
be
if
so
you
nice.
find it, if you
I don't-
find it, I'll be so happy. If you find the train to Puerto
Victor
Rico,
said, "Hook me up, okay?"
hook me up, hook me up.
Oh
Exactly.
my god.
I don't do too good with planes just because of the elevation and whatever. But
Oh, I
yeah,
understand.
because the last time I've been on a plane was 2017 when I went to Cabo, and I didn't feel too good. And
Mm.
with the elevation, just the layover flight too, I just like was sick for like a few days.
So you gotta fly
Wow.
direct and see if anything changes. That was half a joke, but I mean,
I looked at you
Because-
and I went, "That's probably a joke, right?"
because the thing is, if you're not good with elevation, that layover going up and down, then up and down, that might
It's
be
not
a lot
good.
for you. But maybe like if you take the flight direct, you're spending more time on the plane while it's up, and they do stabilize the pressure.
That's
So I feel like if
true.
you know what I'm trying to say, because I feel like
Yeah.
when the flights are shorter, it's more adjusting, like more of the responsibility to adjust is on your body than it is on the plane.
Exactly. It's how your body reacts to it, and I just didn't do good with the layover. That was the first ever layover I did too. So,
All right, so we're only doing road trips with Lara. That's
yay.
okay. Okay.
Road trips and trains.
I'll
I'm
drive
not
to,
bad.
We're gonna drive to Puerto Rico to see Victor.
What we need to do is take that train to
Wow.
Hogwarts. That's what we need to do.
Yeah.
Maybe they have a shortcut to Puerto Rico. You never know. That'll be.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
platform 11 and 7/8. Anyway,
7/8. Math is hard.
well, 9 3/4 is to Hogwarts, so it's not that platform. It's, you know what?
Wait, so are you taking wait, wouldn't it be like a quarter? Would it be wait. Wait, I can't do math.
Honestly, I need to keep away from the Harry Potter jokes. Here's what's happened. Let me give you some behind the scenes, okay? And then we'll move on. I promise.
Maybe to a break because my brain hurts.
We just took one,
I
but
know.
we might need another one.
A girl after the math,
I broke my own brain. Here's what happened though. I saw a TikTok. This is how all the drama starts on the bus. I saw a TikTok and there was a girl running through Hogwarts and like the fields and the train. And I'm not talking Universal Studios. I mean like literally wherever it
like
is in Europe.
Scotland.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly where. And I haven't been the same for like 3 days. Like I've been like finding ways to talk about it, I guess, because I'm green with envy. Like I would also like to run around in a robe over the Hogwarts hills.
I would too. Maybe in a dress, like a flowy.
She
dress.
was wearing a dress,
Oh.
and then the class robes and the tassels and everything. Like
Do you,
Can you send the TikTok, please? I want to see that. That must be
I haven't been
awesome.
able to find it
Oh,
since, but I
no.
will.
Oh
I
my
will dig.
God. I know what
But,
that
you
means. I
know.
know how that feels. That you see a TikTok and then you can't find it. Oh,
You know what it
horrible.
was? And it's so crazy because I usually send stuff like that, like to my friends, like, look at this. But I don't think I even did that because I was like, wow, like,
wow.
wow,
Wow.
where and not me. I
In
mean,
shock,
I
in
never
shock.
get jealous, but I could feel it. I was like, this is what that feels like, right? Because I want to also do it. And I guess I just have to plan to do it. But yeah, like,
I was gonna say something. Oh, do you remember were you guys on TikTok in September of 2020?
a little bit.
Okay, because I remember the entire TikTok, like the Harry Potter talk
Yeah.
fandom went just so bonkers, and I was on
trying
that
to
side
remember.
of TikTok. Do you remember? There was this one portion where this is really random, but one person or a bunch of people actually made Bath and Body Works. They matched Bath and Body Works candles to characters,
Oh, I love that.
and
That's a TikTok right there.
exactly. And I remember a while ago they said Draco Malfoy is mahogany apple, and
Why is that insanely accurate?
I
I don't
know.
even know what that smells
It
like,
smells-
but that's what
Oh,
it is.
I got it right. I got it, and I can tell you guys that it smells like Granny Smith apples and clean men. I think Olive's brain just broke.
Okay. Wow.
And then I think there was another one. I think like it was Oliver Wood or
I
something.
you know what? Here at the Morning Buzz, we smell like Granny Smith apples and clean men.
Wow.
That's just,
Love that.
we're just gonna have to get some candle. I mean, can we even burn a candle in the studio?
Probably not.
Probably not, but
No.
I love the idea.
No, Bath and Body Works had another candle called Vanilla Birch, and it was really good.
Like a smoky vanilla.
yeah. It was like a musky, smoky vanilla.
Oh my gosh.
I'm trying not to burn it as much. I'm trying to like savor it.
Right. No, but you gotta just do it. You gotta have like a self-care day where you just burn it all day.
But here's my problem. I'm very much a seasonal person, and those candles are too fall and wintry for me.
I get what you mean.
'Cause
I get what you mean.
I tried to light a candle a few days ago, and it was called Sweater Weather, right? It smelled too much like Christmas for me to burn it.
You were like, all right, it's raining, but this is too much.
I know.
You know
I
what?
said I can't go back to winter. I can't go back to sweaters. I can't go back to long pants.
Start getting flashbacks. Like, no,
like,
please. You gotta
no.
like run outside and look at the sun. Like,
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of candles, to be honest.
Oh,
wow.
Because
okay,
okay, but let me
okay,
explain.
burning
Let me
oils.
explain. Let me explain. Let me explain. Like when I think of candles, I think of after Hurricane Maria, we didn't have electricity, so we had candles.
Oh,
And
that's
like I
so
fucking
real.
hated candles.
that's
So,
so
like,
real.
I don't like candles. I'm like, it takes me back.
I get it.
We need to get Victor an oil diffuser. That's what we need to get you. Don't even worry
Ooh.
about it. We got to get you on the
Ooh.
essential oils.
Or one of like the walls, like the wall ones that you plug in.
Those are
Oh, that's
actually
perfect. That's
fire.
perfect.
I hate to say it, but like I have a friend that has those like around her house, and it's not too overwhelming, but it's like somehow I still haven't done that for myself, and I maybe today's the day.
I think it is. But we have more news for you.
We absolutely do, and
Because
I'm like it's award season, but
It's
like
award
not even
season, but not.
really, but we know we get the Tonys.
it's award season for the
Tonys!
Tonys. You know,
Yeah.
the Razzle Dazzle has returned
Okay.
to Broadway for the Tony Awards of 2022. Well, we all know that COVID pushed back the 2021 ceremony, the Winter Garden Fall, like it was pushed back to last fall and all that fun stuff. But it took place Sunday, June 12th, so yesterday, at New York's Radio City Music Hall, because what other place would you have the Tony Awards, right?
That's the only place.
Exactly.
Mhm.
One of the biggest awards of the night, Best Play, went to the big banking drama and British import, The Lehman Trilogy, where theater fave and 8-time nominee Patti LuPone won her 3rd Tony Award. But this time it was for Best Performance by an Actress in a Featured Role in a Musical for Company, which also won for Best Revival of a Musical.
Mm.
In her acceptance speech, she noted that she started pondering the revival way back in 2018 and expressed relief for the theater community somehow making it through the endless and vulnerable lockdown of COVID. Because to be in Broadway at that time, I feel like Broadway is still recovering. And it's amazing.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And it's really good that they're pretty much almost back. But meanwhile, the Tonys bestowed Best Revival of a Play on Take Me Out, which features some pretty adult themes that was shown a particular spotlight to 40-year-old star Jesse Williams and 5-time Tony winner Angela Lansbury of 96. She released...
Was she 96?
I know. She
What?
received her 6th special award for Lifetime Achievement. She was previously honored for her performances in musicals and plays, including Sweeney Todd, Gypsy, Dear World, Ma'am, and Lansbury she wasn't there on Sunday, but there weren't any explanations.
Honey,
I know.
no explanation was given for her absence. First and
As she
foremost,
shouldn't.
right?
She shouldn't
it's
have
Angela
to.
Lansbury.
Yeah.
What are you
Exactly.
Yeah,
talking
she's
about?
Sam Beauty and the Beast.
I'm
Like,
gonna
let her-
listen.
She can do anything.
Exactly.
I want all my listeners to listen very closely. I'm going to tell you right now why Angela Lansbury was not there. She forgot. Okay, she's not worried
She's
about
allowed
Tony
to
Award.
forget.
She's 96. Her legacy is written in stone. Okay, listen.
It's like the 6th. After the 5th, you're like, whatever. Like
Fair enough.
I already got 5.
She's,
I already got
It's up
5.
there.
been lit for
It's up
so
there.
long. I'm sure it passed by without it. Maybe she watched it
I hope I
and
think she
acted
did.
like, yeah. It's like now that I say that, I'm like, no, she watched it from her beautiful home,
As she
no
should.
doubt,
As she should.
with snacks from there. She
Yeah.
didn't want
Maybe she
theater
didn't even
snacks.
know. She was like, oh my God, I just won a Tony. Yay.
I love
love
that.
it.
When she's watching it and they announce her name, she's like, oh my gosh, I won a Tony. She's like getting like holding her cats.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like she'll have a cat.
Yeah,
And she'll be like, oh my God, we won a Tony.
knows when the Tonys are, just didn't know she was nominated at all. Like
I love that. I kind of love that.
I can only aspire to be lit like that.
Honestly, I gotta say, best musical did go to A Strange Loop, and it was against Six, the musical.
I don't know either of those musicals, and I'm
either,
ashamed.
But I
because-
know Six because it was
But
about
6 sounds
King
good.
Henry's.
Yeah.
It was about King Henry's wives.
You know what? I heard about it, but I didn't know what it was called. I
Yeah.
know exactly what you're referring
Yeah.
to.
And I heard it's fabulous. You know,
I'm gonna need to
we'll get our theater fix.
clearly this last semester took me for a ride because I don't know what's going on
Like,
Broadway,
I'll be-
even though it's
I
open now.
know.
That's kind of scary. Like I cried when, well, not that I cried, but I really felt for the hospitality industry and for Broadway,
Me too. Yeah.
you know, because somehow they were still cranking out films and locking sets down.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But like Broadway, you can't really do that without an audience, you know? So it's like, those are two industries that I was really
Yeah,
like,
me too. Like I love theater, and like, you know, going to Broadway for the first time when I came, you know, to Montclair was like,
what did
oh
you
my
see
God.
again?
Well, in Broadway, I went to see Harry Potter. I went to see
Mhm.
Wicked, and I saw Moulin Rouge, and they were all
Oh
three
my
were
God.
amazing.
Before I
Because
get
I
to
love
my
musicals.
Before I get to my controversial opinion, I will like to note that original best score, which was music and lyrics, Six did win for that
Oh, okay.
because the music is pretty good.
I'm gonna have to watch it.
But I'll be honest, I think Wicked is overrated.
See, I've never seen Wicked, and I know before I die, I'm
Oh,
gonna have to pay that
dude.
due. I'm gonna have to pay that troll under the bridge.
Like, I'm glad I saw it, but it's just kind of overrated.
Have
I
any of
don't-
y'all ever seen
I-
Lion King?
Yes.
Lion King
Phenomenal.
and Beauty and the Beast. I'm
Oh
sorry,
my
but like,
God. Stop.
yeah, it's
Beauty and the
a
Beast.
lot. Yeah,
Absolutely fantastic.
I think the last play I saw on Broadway was Brooklyn. It was a political thriller. It was really, really
Ooh.
good. Really, really good. I think that I could be misspeaking, but you know, my best friend, her father owned and operated Barrymore Theater on Broadway for many, many years. So I grew up kind of like just in his world. We would go in and out. And it's just it's a part of, it's like an aspect of life that I love about living on the East Coast, you know, because Broadway is just always right there and we can always go. And I feel like I'm always taking that for granted. But also some of the best nights I've ever had have been in some of the lobbies of those theaters, you know, during an intermission of some of the best work I've seen in entertainment ever. So I need to like really
amount of
plan.
talent
Uh,
for Broadway.
it's
Like, not
limitless.
just performing, but for instrumental and playwright too, as well. Amazing.
And listen, if
Yeah.
there's a live orchestra, sign me
You
up.
know it's going to be
Sign
good.
me up, especially if they're like under the stage. Get me tickets right now.
Stop the pit.
Yeah.
The pit, baby.
Ugh.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
gotta add that like Montclair State Department of Drama is Broadway level. Like I don't know if you guys have seen those plays that were
Is it
occurring
really?
during the
So
semester.
yeah, no, he's right.
Really?
Yeah, they
He's
were really
right.
good. They were
Wow.
really
He's
good.
right.
The actors, you know, they had orchestra. It was, you know, it's Broadway level. I was impressed. You know, I didn't expect that from, you know, just the university, but they're doing a lot of things, and I'm like, yo, this is gonna be like Broadway actors, Tony winners. Like, it's
Oh
amazing.
yeah. And look, every day that we walk into the School of Communication and Media here at the beautiful Montclair State University, we can see the city, right? We could essentially see Broadway from
Yes.
the building. And so I think, you know, having that reference as a theater major or even as a dancer, because the dancers here are next level as well.
Mhm.
It's kind of like you can't help but feel like you're in the pipeline for
Yeah.
Broadway. You're looking at it, baby. You're looking
Mhm.
at it.
It's crazy.
But in any case, we're going to move on to our next story, which we wish this man was a better actor. Okay. We wish he was a Broadway level actor. Man who raps about robbing ATMs, arrested for robbing ATM. I'm going to read that one more time. Okay. A man who raps about robbing ATMs was arrested for robbing one in Tennessee on last Monday. Ladician?
Yes.
Ladician Riley, 30. No, at this big old age. No, you got to be kidding me. Was one of 4 people arrested. Department says the 4 carried out a plot. So it's a crew. Oh, okay. So it was one of y'all rapping about it. Okay. I'm putting it together, people. It's hard for me, for my little brain to comprehend. Okay. So department says the 4 carried out a plot to rob an ATM technician as he serviced a Bank of America machine. Look, leave that man alone. Darius Dugas, 27, Shashandre Dugas, 32, and Christopher Alton, 27, from Houston, Texas, were also arrested.
You are so far away from home doing dumb stuff. The four were picked up just after they checked out of a motel. Police say two of them approached the victim from behind and told him not to do anything stupid and hand over the money. And they were able to determine that one of the getaway vehicles, a Hyundai Elantra, was rented from Hertz. Using information provided by Hertz, yeah, that's how detective work works. Did y'all not think about that? Detectives, with the assistance of aviation units, found the Hyundai and a maroon Jeep that accompanied it, parked at the Motel 6 in Dixon. Detectives watched as what appeared to be cash was loaded into the Jeep. When the Dugas couple and Riley pulled away from the motel in the Jeep, and as Alton drove away in the Hyundai, Dixon police moved in with the assistance of the Nashville Police Department and the FBI. Oh, they went crazy. The vehicles pulled over and the four were taken into custody without incident. Police followed photos of the cash, released photos of the cash that were found in the trunk. The four face federal charges and the FBI is investigating whether they committed similar robberies elsewhere. Riley performs under the name 213 Jug God, oh gosh, and has released music videos on YouTube. His latest song is called Make It Home and refers to robbing ATMs.
Oh.
The Houston Police Officers Union mocked him in a Facebook post after his arrest, saying, quote, irony, when you make a rap song called Make It Home about bank jugging and hitting ATMs out of state, and then don't make it home to Houston. I'm just going to say, I'm going to speak on this, okay? Because first of all, it's, forget 12, but he roasted him in that last line. I'm not going to front. First of all, let me tell you something. As an underground rapper myself, this is what happens when you put the cart before the horse. Because there's two different things at work here. One, you're not living your raps, which is why you're putting it out on YouTube and then trying to make up for it. Okay. And you know what I'm saying? Be honest with yourself about the things that you do, and you won't be out here getting jugged and finesse yourself. How is that your name? But you're anyway. And two, which is, in this case, he's an idiot. Sorry to say, but you are. But there's actually a bigger thing at work right now, because people that have been following the story of Young Thug right now know that he's locked up in connection with a crime that he didn't even commit, really. And they're trying to reference his lyrics as evidence. And it's a huge problem, because although I said what I just said, and it's half jokes, but the issue is people of color do not have the same freedom to express themselves in their art as their white counterparts. And, although in this case, I'm kind of using this story to segue into the bigger issue, which may or may not be appropriate because of the facts that stand, which is, he rapped about it and he got caught in the act of doing it. But the fact of the matter is that's not always the case. And, that's kind of what they're in court about right now, trying to figure out, trying to comb it out. Not that I see much progress being made, but in any case, we're going to move on to our next story. Victor, take it away.
Well, let's go. Police, Florida told. Okay, this is a Florida story.
Yeah. So everyone,
buckle up.
If you're sitting down, maybe stand up. I don't know. Maybe get the blood rushing, because you're gonna feel like you're not getting enough oxygen to your brain.
I'm losing brain cells.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Florida toddler in diaper walks pit bull alone. Mom charged with neglect. A Florida woman is accused of child neglect after her toddler was discovered in a diaper walking the family's pit bull by himself as it rained outside. Okay,
not the rain too.
Just imagine the image. That's an album cover.
I was literally gonna say my next album, Florida Woman. No, I'm kidding. Anyway.
And then the baby with the pit bull and raining.
That is different.
Mary Jane Wright, of 37, of Cape Coral, was arrested on Friday and charged with child neglect without great bodily harm. Authorities said it was not the first time the 18-month-old boy was found walking the family pet unattended. The Cape Coral Police Department responded to 911 call at 9:17 a.m. Friday about an unsupervised child walking the dog. Citing an arrest report, officers who arrived at an intersection discovered the child wearing a diaper and not wearing shoes or pants. A neighbor who made the 911 call told police it was at least the 7th time they had witnessed the toddler and dog strolling down the streets unsupervised. The child's home was near a canal, and Friday's incident occurred on the day that became This occurred on the day that became Tropical Storm Alex. According to police, officers had gone to Wright's residence 19 times in 2019 on calls that involved runaway juveniles, domestic disturbances, and battery. On April 4, police went to the same address after a child wearing a diaper was reported wandering outside. On May 1st, police visited again after receiving reports of a naked child walking outside the residence with a broken glass bottle, according to a newspaper. Wow. On Friday, officers said they found a butcher knife in the driveway, several alcohol bottles in the yard, and broken windows covered with cardboard. Wright told officers there were two 15-year-olds in the house, as well as two children ages 8 and 6, who were all supposed to be watching the toddler.
How dare they irresponsibly write this story? You're going to put the onus on two 15-year-olds? How dare you? How dare you trivialize neglect? You know, I kind of had a moment where I was laughing to myself because they're talking about, you know, found outside not wearing shoes or pants. And I was going to say, you know, where'd you guys get this footage of me? But, you know, the more I think about it, not for nothing, it gets sadder, you guys. And for who were supposed to be watching the toddler, excuse me, I'm going to put my iPad down.
Those children are not that toddler's mother or parent.
Yeah.
Right? That's not fair that they're putting it on 15-year-olds. You know what you're supposed to be doing as a 15-year-old? You're supposed to be going to school.
You're not supposed to be parentified. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
How about that? 215. You know what?
I'm done.
That's irresponsible.
Yeah. And I think, like being at least for me, like being like the youngest of my cousins, they will always tell me to do stuff. So I think this happened to the toddler. They were like, oh, I don't want to walk the dog. You walk it. And like
that, or the child's observing. Like
that's true.
Babies do, because it's one or the other, right? But it's also like, you know, I'm not going to put it on the kids. I just think, you know, like, you know, we're reporting the facts, right?
Yeah.
We're reporting facts as they are given to us. And the fact is that someone put the responsibility on these children, okay? But I'm not surprised because this is the same media that calls young Black boys young men, okay, and charges them as adults. So I'm not. So listen, I'm not.
Does the system surprise you anymore?
No.
Because it doesn't for me. It really
no,
doesn't.
I'm just finding, you know, it's just my outrage. It needs an outlet. Okay, outrage, not enrage. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna
love that.
All right,
good
not enrage, outrage.
I think I just did something right now.
You did.
That's the name of the album. You know, outrage, not enrage, and then the baby. Like we already got it. Like
T-shirts
somebody
coming
Photoshop
soon.
that, please. You know, Monday Morning Bus, outrage.
How you know it's a real album is I'm dropping the shirt first, and then you won't get the album for like 3 years. Then
stop. This one gaming company did that with the game. They released chapter 1 of the game, then they released a bunch of merch so you can buy it. Oh, and then like months later, they released chapter 2.
Maybe they needed it to fund the second chapter, though.
That's fair. But you know what? It's I find it really odd that you're plugging merch like a lot instead of like a GoFundMe. Like,
well, call me Adiv then.
I'm just theorizing.
All right.
Because that's just a theory.
A bus theory.
theory.
And we're gonna end with another Florida story because
why
not? Yeah. I mean, listen, honey, whatever y'all want to think. The reason that we still love Florida is because it's like Jersey's dunce cousin. You know, we're still the East Coast.
I was gonna say Jersey's trashier cousin.
I don't know if she's trashier than us.
I think Jersey's
like
the trashiest.
I mean, not to brag, but we're kind of trashy over here. I mean,
welcome to the Jersey Shore.
I mean, listen, I hate that stereotype, but I love that stereotype. I grew up with Italians in Jersey, and I'm sorry, when I go down the shore, you already know what it is. It's Zeppo's here. It's the shore here. It's not wearing enough sunscreen over there. It's okay, and I love it. I'm sorry. I'm from Brazil. I could have grown up anywhere. I had the privilege and honor of growing up a Jersey girl. Okay, and that's Jersey strong.
Jersey strong. Stronger than the storm.
Stronger than the storm. Stop.
Not the
Wait,
accent.
that
Oh
whole
my
thing
God.
was
That whole era of Jersey
like,
was interesting.
wow. Okay. So yeah, we love Florida. I need to go swimming with manatees this season.
You should.
I need to.
You
The
should.
season, manatee season is from April to November. I'm gonna have to get down there.
Whenever you do it, you should report back to us on how it was.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah, I used to do it in Puerto Rico, and it's fun. It's fun.
Oh,
Paddleboarding with the
no.
manatees. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, please stop because I will literally cry on air and y'all don't want to hear that. Man bit by gator he mistook for dog in Florida is this headline. Okay, because we're gonna leave you on a nice little delusional reality note here on the Monday Morning Buzz. A man was bitten by an alligator he mistook for a dog early Tuesday morning in Sarasota. Deputies were dispatched around 12:30 a.m. Oh gosh, that is the worst time for that to happen. To the Warm Mineral Springs Motel on South Tamiami Trail in Northport. Investigators say the man told them he was walking outside the motel overnight when he spotted a dark figure moving along the bushes on the shell path. A sheriff's office spokesperson wrote in an email. He stated the figure appeared to look like a dog with a long leash, which is why he wasn't hesitant to move out of the way. That's when deputies say the alligator bit his leg, ripped off a chunk of his muscle as he tried to get away. Luckily, he was able to flag down one deputy who was already in the area on an unrelated call. That deputy called for paramedics. The man was taken to the Sarasota Memorial Hospital in Venice. Sergeant James Achille managed to capture the gator before the licensed trapper arrived. The trapper then removed the reptile from the area. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission also responded to the scene because,
Oh my God.
Wait, you know that one video of Kylie Jenner? I think Chris is holding a piglet and Kylie goes, "Is that a chicken?"
yeah, I know the clip.
This is the same
This is-
energy.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
literally this. Yeah. Wow.
Is that a puppy?
Okay, so
Nom.
first track on Outrage, not Enrage, is Midnight Dog and in parentheses Gator
Yeah,
friend.
I gotta, we gotta it was dark, it was midnight, he was confused. He saw the leash, he was like, oh, that's a dog, I guess. But like, yes, it's hard to mistake a dog for a gator, a gator for a dog. So
I thought that he was like gonna pet the dog, but
I thought he was
didn't.
too.
I was
Maybe-
completely misled by my own
Wait,
assumptions.
Maybe he didn't have enough time to pet the dog. Well, the gator.
the gator.
Maybe the gator was upset that he didn't get pet. You ever think about the gator's perspective? Because we never asked the gator.
We never do.
No,
Well-
I remember when I went to Miami and they took me to like a gator springs thing,
Mm.
and it was, gators are scary. They're scary. They're like they're
They're
dinosaurs.
literally dinosaur. Yeah,
Yeah, and like
Water
and,
dinos.
yeah.
they are. They are. But I
Yeah.
would just like to end on this particular note because back to manatees. Manatees have no known, like, I'm sorry, what's the word in English? Predators. They have no known predators. And there have been observed instances of gators in Florida moving out of the way or being like, like a manatee will just like bump into them repeatedly. And they're just like, can you move? But they never attack manatees.
I love that.
I know.
Manatees are wholesome.
Mhm.
Manatee Monday here on the Morning Buzz. It has been such an amazing morning. I hope you all have an amazing day. Do you have any parting
Yes.
words for
I
our
do.
audience? Yeah, because I'm like, final words.
I do, but Victor, if you have any, please go first.
Well, guys, thank you for listening to the 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair here at the Monday Morning Bus. I'm Victor, Lara, Olive.
And with that being said, I guess we'll see you later, alligator.
In a while, crocodile.
Crocodile, yes.
Have a great day, everyone. Take care.
See ya.
You're listening